Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as you guys can see by the title of this video, this is going to be another video in my wedding series, which is super duper exciting. So kind of like from this video onwards, they're all going to be like sit down videos other than the wedding video that will come at the very end. So as you guys can see by the title of this video, I'm just going to sit here and chat with you guys today and just kind of talk through all of the wedding vendors that we used. So I'm kind of just going to break everything down, and I'm also going to talk about like where we got our decor, where I got my dresses, like all those kind of things, like where the boys got their suits. I asked you guys over on my Instagram if you guys wanted to see this video, and so many of you guys said yes. If you guys have been keeping up with my wedding series and have been watching a lot of my wedding vlogs, a lot of this stuff will be things that you've already heard, but I wanted to also sit down and film this video, so just in case like you are planning a wedding and you are in the Hawke's Bay area and you're kind of wanting to get some ideas of vendors and everything. And then I will also include like some pictures as I'm talking about it, so that you guys can get an idea of kind of what the vendors are kind of capable of and all that stuff. I have already filmed this video once, but I was really unhappy with the lighting, and when I filmed it I actually wasn't very well. It was like the start of when I was getting the flu, so I really just wasn't feeling too hot on that day, so I thought I would sit down and refilm it for you guys today. Yeah, I've written everything down on my phone, so if I'm looking down and not specifically looking at the camera, then that is why. But after that very long introduction, let's jump into this video. I'm kind of going to talk about like the vendors and then like how we found them and what our thoughts were and stuff. So I thought I would start off with the most obvious one, and that is the venue. So we did have to change our venue due to like COVID and the mandates and everything that were in place. So I'm just going to talk about the ones that we actually went with and not like our previous stuff, if that makes sense. And I did do a wedding venue shopping video, so if you guys missed that, I'll leave that down below and in the eye for you guys as well. My husband Phil and I had two different venues. Now the reason we had two was because our ceremony location was in a church, and it was kind of just like a small little standalone church. It wasn't like on like a big property with a whole heap of like other buildings and whatnot, so it actually wasn't big enough to be able to have a reception, if that makes sense. So the church that we ended up going with is the Eskdale War Memorial Church. Now this church literally embodied our vision perfectly, and is kind of why we decided to go for it. So it's a beautiful church with like stained glass windows and like brown pews, and we just thought it was perfect. It's quite like small, so it definitely feels like very intimate, and it fits the number of people as well that we wanted to have, which was great. And then it also had like a lawn kind of in the front of the church where you could take photos, had plenty of parking, and it was on the Napier Topor Road as well. So like it's on like a main state highway, but it's not like a crazy busy highway for the time that we had our wedding anyways, because we had our wedding in autumn. It was just perfect. It was also very affordable. I'm not going to be saying any of the prices of anything specifically in this video, because I do actually want to do a whole separate video on our budget and how much everything was and how much we spent. Definitely keep an eye out, because that video will be coming soon. I'm actually hoping to film it today. It was just such a beautiful church. And then our reception venue was on a friend's property with a marquee. So our marquee company we went with was Top Carter Tents. Now I simply just found them with like a quick little Google search. Same with the church, and actually like a lot of people that we knew got married in the church that we got married in, so that was kind of how we found that, and it's quite like a popular Hawke's Bay venue. But with Top Carter Tents, it was just a simple Google. I knew that I wanted some form of like teepee style marquee. I didn't really want anything too basic and boring in the way of a marquee. Just wanted something that would really embody our kind of autumnal vision essentially. Kate from Top Carter Tents was super duper easy to communicate with. She was very understanding, and especially with all the like roller coaster that was COVID, she was very accommodating for like if we were in different levels and what that kind of required. And then she would kind of do like a final quote like the week before and when things are due, but she would also give you like a rough idea, and you could really kind of customize the packages that they offered as well. They were a Hamilton company, so we did have to pay for like traveling, which kind of sucked. Most of the vendors we did try and keep local, but there are a couple of them that aren't local, and that's just the way that it worked out. But honestly, I would highly recommend Top Carter tents. They are a little bit on the pricier side for a marquee, but in my opinion it was totally worth it. Even when the guys were setting up, they set up very quickly. They were very good at communicating when they wanted to actually come and set up, and then they did it all themselves. There was 2 guys, and then 1 guy packed it down after our wedding, and yeah, he was in and out really quick. He kind of worked in with Phil and I when we would be available. Yeah, we just simply left him to it, and it was just a really good service essentially. So super duper stoked. Then I guess I'll talk about our friend's property a little bit. So our friends from church back home offered up their property when we were going through the whole venue change, because they'd had a couple of people get married on their property already, so they kind of knew how it all worked. And then their property is beautiful. It was very close to the church as well, which is one of the reasons why we chose their property. And it was also quite rural, and there were like different spots that we could actually get married in. So we looked at like 3 different spots on their property and ended up going with the paddock that we chose essentially. It will make more sense as well if you guys have watched my wedding vlogs. But they were super duper lovely, and they also helped out with like getting the furniture there, getting the furniture back. They helped with the bathroom runs, because our bathroom wasn't actually like where the marquee was. I'll talk about that like a little bit later on. But they were just so accommodating and super lovely, and literally came to our rescue, because without them we wouldn't have had a reception venue. I really appreciate their help. Obviously they don't normally lend out their property. It's not like they do this as a business. It was just like they do it for like friends and family. So next I'm going to talk about our photographer. So we had Michael Schultz as our photographer. Now I actually found him through Instagram. So one of the girls that I used to work with in the salon when I worked in hairdressing, she had a photo shoot done by him when her baby was born, with her baby and her boyfriend, and I really liked the photos that she put up that he photographed. So I went onto his Instagram and I had a wee look through his feed, and I fell in love with his photos. Yeah, essentially messaged him straight away. It was one of the things that Phil and I really valued, so we knew that we wanted to spend a little bit more money on a photographer, and I am literally blown away by the content that he got. He was a very natural photographer. Nothing was staged. He kind of just shot as you kind of went. He was also really crack up, so he was such a fun guy to really like spend your day with, and I really enjoyed his energy and his personality, and really feel like it made the wedding. He was making a lot of our guests laugh, and like the bridal party laugh. He had like a lot of dad jokes, which was great. Very good at communicating with you as well. Very quick to reply to emails, and again you can kind of customize kind of like his services depending on what you're after as well. Yeah, I am obsessed with the photos that we got back. I've put like quite a lot of them on my Instagram, so if you guys follow me on Instagram you would have already seen a lot of them, and literally we've had so many compliments on our photos. Highly would recommend him. By the way, I will leave links to all of the vendors that I can down below. Again, if you are getting married, or you're planning a wedding, or you've just gotten engaged, or you're about to get engaged if you know it's coming, then I'll leave some links down below. So if you are in the Hawke's Bay area, or you are getting married in the Hawke's Bay area and you want to use any of these vendors, definitely would highly recommend. And the good thing as well with Michael is that he actually came out to the property, I think it was the day before, and viewed the property and kind of got a gauge for like where he wanted to take photos and how the day was going to run. And so it was really nice just to be able to actually meet him in person and kind of chat to him, and for him to really get and explore so that we could get the best photos possible. He also stayed a little bit longer than what we'd paid him for as well, which was super duper sweet, just to be able to get a few more shots. Next up I'm going to talk about our videographer. So if you are planning your wedding and you have it in your budget, I honestly would highly recommend a videographer. I know that like people we know who didn't get their wedding filmed, it is one of the things that they regret. So definitely if you can, and I feel like photos can only say so much. We had Grant from Maya Media and Productions, so both the photographer and videographer are Hawke's Bay based, which was great. Grant was lovely. He was quite like a shy kind of person, but again, very natural. Didn't really want to stage anything. He was kind of like, you just do your thing and I'll just film bits and pieces, and he was great. He was a really lovely person. we had a meeting with him kind of like at the beginning of the week before, just to kind of go through everything, which was really helpful. He is quite bad at replying to his phone though, so I have found the best way to get in contact with him is to text him rather than email, because he doesn't really check his emails. But yeah, texting and calling, he'd always answer like straight away, so that was great. And then we got our video back a couple weeks ago now, and I am obsessed with it. It is so incredibly cute. He shot it very well. Phil and I kind of kept it to ourselves for a little bit, and then we showed my best friend and we sent it off to his best man, and my best friend was like, this is so beautiful. And then we're about to send it off to like friends and family and close friends, and then obviously you guys will get to see this if it doesn't get copyrighted, fingers crossed with the music. And I'm just so happy with how it's done. I feel like he kind of captured our day very well, and it was kind of what I was thinking in my head. So again, I found Grant through just a quick little Google search, and then I also know that the wedding group that I'm part of on Facebook, I know a few of those ladies have also used him for their wedding. And then again, he's got different packages to kind of accommodate for your budget and for kind of what you're after. Grant was pretty much there from like the start of the day right up until it pretty much close to ended, and he was also able to go between my girls and myself and Phil and his boys, so he just did such a great job, and yeah, was just a really lovely human being. So next up we're going to talk about flowers. So Phil's auntie Beverly is a florist, so we just asked her to do flowers, and definitely I would recommend this if you, especially if you're on like a budget, or you've got friends and family, or you've got like a specific skill yourself that you find really valuable. Definitely look around like who's in your circle and potentially how they could help you out for your wedding day. Bev was really great, simply just sent her photos of my inspo, and she kind of just custom created it. She kind of didn't really tell me much of what she was doing, so I kind of just hoped for the best, and then like occasionally she would like send pictures and stuff to me. Flowers wasn't really something that I valued, so I was kind of just like, as long as you can do like some really nice like autumnal flower arrangements, whatever, I'm not really too fussed. And she did such an amazing job. I didn't really get too much actual footage of the flowers. I was gonna film a little part on the wedding morning. I completely forgot because we were running late, so you can kind of see in like the photos what kind of flowers she did. We got a lot of compliments on the flowers. My mum really loved the flowers as well. I was super duper happy with them. I feel like it was kind of what I envisioned, which was great. She was also really good at sticking to our budget as well, and kind of just accommodating for the different needs and stuff that we had. And then yeah, it was kind of just like gradual when she was arranging them. It wasn't like all at once. And then she was also really good because I wanted to do like a mixture of dried and fresh, so yeah, she really accommodated for that, and yeah, it was a really good experience. She does take a while sometimes to reply though, so that's the only thing. But yeah, she's not actually like a specific wedding florist. Next up, I'm going to talk about our wedding car. So our wedding car again was a friend from church. He had a Jaguar, which was super duper lovely, and he was actually trying to sell it on Trade Me, but he didn't sell it by our date, so essentially we got to use his car, which was great. He drove us, which was really nice. He was also a guest at our wedding as well. Drove very smoothly. He didn't actually charge us anything for letting us use his car, which was lovely. And then he also put like the little ribbons on the car himself, so that was something that we didn't have to do either. And yeah, I just really appreciated it, and we had a really nice car for our wedding. So next up I will talk about our celebrant. So again, our celebrant was our pastor from back home. So again, he didn't charge us anything. I kind of just had a meeting with him like years ago and asked him if he would do mine and Phil's wedding and like marry us together, and he's like, yeah, sure. And yeah, he was really good at kind of keeping tabs with us, just checking up on us as we were kind of planning the whole wedding. He also did marriage prep with us as well, and he's known me ever since I was little, so really felt personal. And yeah, he did a really great job, kind of what I expected. And he's also done a lot of weddings from people in our church, and then his daughter also got married last year. His oldest son got married the week after we did, so he's had a lot of experience. And yeah, he was really good. We had like kind of like a meeting with him at his house about the day and how it would run and everything, so he's really on top of it, really organized, kept all the documents that we needed together, and yeah, it was just a really great experience. So next up I will talk about our catering and our bar. So I guess we'll start with the catering and then I'll move on to the bar. So our caterers, we had to get brought in because obviously we did our own venue. So we used Harriet Brett and Melissa from Mitzi and Twin Catering. They operate out of Brookfield's Winery, and I believe I found them through another caterer because at the time when we were looking for caterers, we needed someone to do vaccinated and unvaccinated weddings. Obviously that's not a thing anymore in New Zealand, but when we were looking for caterers, that was a thing. So Harriet was one of the ones that was like, we don't really care about whether people are vaccinated or not. So she was pretty much our only option, but she, yeah, was really great. Again, she takes a little bit to like reply to emails. She is a super duper lovely person, and their food was incredible. It was so good. They can really kind of accommodate for your needs as well, and you can kind of customize the packages that they offer as well. Yeah, the canapes, the mains and the dessert was so good. Got a lot of compliments on the food as well, and then they also cleared the plates for us as well and rinsed them, which was super duper sweet. They don't bring their own cutlery or crockery though, so that is definitely something to consider because I know some caterers do. Harriet was lovely. She made sure everything ran smoothly. Again, she came out the day before, checked out the property. I think she came out like a couple weeks before and first viewed the actual property, and then she came out when we were setting up the marquee just to get an idea of where she was going to place things, and then she organized a team to actually be there for the whole night. And yeah, it was great. She was really onto it on the day. Nothing kind of went skewer or anything, so yeah, it was really good. There was definitely enough food as well. It was just a really great experience. We had a meeting with her again a couple weeks before the wedding, which I did vlog, and yeah, we just kind of talked everything through. She sent me an invoice as well with everything, and so that got done, and she's just a very chill person, and food was incredible. I was a little bit worried because Phil and I had never tried their food before. We'd never actually been to the winery, but thank goodness the food was really good, and yeah, it was just an overall great experience. And then with our bar, Phil and I pretty much organized the bar ourselves. So we organized like what drinks we were going to have. Phil made a couple of cocktails for our wedding as well and kind of designed them up. Got a lot of compliments on those, which was great. We brought in Storm from, I think she used to work at Emporium with Phil. They were like really close when he was working there, so he's like, hey, do you want to come do our wedding and be the bartender? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. She was really good. She was really onto it with making drinks. She was also going around and clearing like bottles and just making sure that everything was kind of like topped up and everything. So it was really good. She was just really great. She's such a sweet person. Yeah, it was just overall a really great experience. Nothing kind of got left either, which was great. Then she also stayed quite late as well and made drinks for people. Very thankful, and I appreciate Storm's help a lot. I don't know if she watches my videos, but if you do and you watch this video, I really appreciate you a lot. Without her, like, the bar wouldn't have ran as smoothly as it did. Next up, I'm going to talk about our bathrooms. So again, because we organized our own venue with a marquee, that meant that we had to bring in our own bathrooms. We used Royal Flush in the Hawke's Bay area, and it is Leanne that runs these. Again, I just found her through a simple Google search. It was actually such a struggle to find like bathrooms that would be available for our date because I wanted like a semi-nice facility. I knew that I wanted flushing toilets and running water to like wash your hands and stuff, because I feel like if you just sanitize your hands, you don't really feel clean. And pretty much all the nice facilities were already booked, and especially because a lot of weddings got cancelled, they were already like booked up from like the cancellations the previous year, which really sucked. I literally went through even like the basic portaloos, and a lot of them were like, we either don't have your date or we can't get our facility out to your property that you've got. So I was at the point where I was actually starting to freak out that I wouldn't have any bathrooms available for my guests, which obviously would have been a disaster. So luckily, like on the top of like a random search thing, it came up with Leanne. So I contacted her straight away. She was like, yep, I've got your date, I can do it. And then she came out to view the property, and then she's like, yep, the facilities will get there, we just can't get your bathrooms directly on the same paddock as your marquee. Our marquee was like up here, and then there was like a little bit of a walkway, and then we had everyone park here, and the bathrooms were where the parking was. So it was a little bit of a trek to actually get to the bathrooms, but again, the people that owned the property had like a little side-by-side and like four-wheel drive thing, and we had like a few people with four-wheel drives that were carting people back and forth, and it worked out. A lot of people just walked as well. It was not very far, it was like a 2-minute walk. So yeah, and the facilities were so lovely. So we just got one trailer and it had a men's bathroom, a women's bathroom, and a unisex bathroom, running water and flushing toilets, which was great. And then it also came with like a little vanity and like a little mirror as well. I got a lot of compliments on the bathrooms as well. Leanne was very onto it with like texting and whatever. Definitely recommend Royal Flush if you have got any events coming up that you need bathrooms for. So next I'm going to talk about sound and lighting. I'll talk about sound first. So sound, we used one of our friends from church. Again, he does like all the sound for like the church services and whatnot. So he came out, he brought his own generator as well, which was super duper helpful, manned the sound essentially. There was him and one other guy as well that did the ceremony, and then I believe like carpooled together to do a reception as well, and it was great. They did get one of our songs around the wrong way, but it was like not the aisle song, so that's like the main thing. And yeah, they were really accommodating, and in the rehearsal we kind of went through the songs and like what part of the song they like I wanted to walk down to and walk back. They got the timing right and everything, and yeah, just no complaints. Again, they didn't charge us anything for their services, which was super duper lovely. And then our lighting came with the marquee. So in our marquee payment we paid for fairy lights and then the little festoon lights that came kind of like from the top of the marquee out, and it was definitely enough lighting with the candles. And again, the marquee guys checked all the lighting and everything before they left. Next up I'm going to talk about the hairdresser. So the hairdresser for myself and my girls and Phil's mum was Abby from Salon 26. Abby is so lovely. She's also very gentle with your hair as well. Like there's nothing worse than having a hairdresser who like pulls at your hair. I think I found Abby through a recommendation from like another hairdresser, because a lot of hairdressers were like fully booked for our date, and yeah, she was great. She was very good at communicating, very onto it. She also sent me an invoice after the wedding just so that I have it for my records of everything that we kind of went through. She got there early, she did a really good job. She managed to get through my bridesmaids and myself quite quickly. Yeah, just very lovely, very accommodating, very sweet. And we also did like a trial like a month or so before, and yeah, it went really well. I was super happy with how everything turned out. Again, we got a lot of compliments on like how my hair looked and how the bridesmaids looked. And next I'm going to talk about makeup. So I had Tessa from Missy Moo Makeup. Again, I think I found Tessa through just a simple Google search, and I looked at her Instagram and I really liked the way that she did makeup. It was very natural, which was what I was after. And then again, Tessa was super duper lovely. She got there when she said she would get there in the morning, and was able to cycle through me and the bridesmaids and my mum and Phil's mum as well, which was really good for like the amount of time that she had. Essentially did a really good job. Again, we got a lot of compliments. The girls looked stunning, I looked stunning, and yeah, it was just exactly what I was after. Nothing too crazy. She was super duper sweet, and again, we did a makeup trial a couple days before the wedding and it went really well. Next up I'm going to talk about our nails. So myself and the girls went to Lily Beauty in Hastings for nails. So I was really stuck on where to go for nails, because normally I would have gone to my nail lady that I went to in Hawke's Bay, except she doesn't live in Hawke's Bay anymore. She's moved and I don't believe she's doing her business anymore. So I got the recommendation for Lily Beauty from the girls in the wedding discussion group on Facebook. So many girls in that group said that they got their nails done from Lily Beauty in Hastings, and they sent photos and it looked really nice, and I knew that I wanted something natural for my nails, and I was so stoked with how they came out. It was very affordable. I think she actually did it cheaper than what she originally quoted me. Yeah, they were able to get through myself and my 3 bridesmaids quite quickly. Oh my goodness, I have never had nail polish last me as long as I have from with the nails that I got from Lily Beauty. So they were just my natural nails. I believe it was a gel polish that we used in just like a nude color. We also got to choose what color. They were very like clean as well about the way they did things. They literally didn't ship, I kid you not, for like 2 months afterwards. It was insane. Same with my bridesmaids as well. All of their nails lasted a really long time, and then when I actually got back home, my mum looked at my nails and she's like, oh, they look really good. And then the next time my mum and my sister went, booked in with her and got their nails done as well. So yeah, it was really good. I did make an appointment prior because I wanted to make sure that I secured my date, but I feel like you can kind of just walk in and go. My advice always is to just book ahead of time. Don't just walk in and hope for the best. That way you know that you've got a secure spot. But yeah, I would honestly highly recommend them. I actually want to get my nails done from them when I go back to Hawke's Bay for like trips and stuff, because they did such a good job. So next up I'm going to talk about our rings. So both Phil and I got our wedding rings from the Michael Hill outlet in Dressmart. We had Amir serve us, and if you've watched any of my wedding vlogs, he is great. He knows his stuff. He also gave us discounts. Sorry if I'm in a slightly different position. My battery just died, and I do apologize if you can hear someone outside making noise. They're cutting down one of the trees that like fell over when it was really windy. We were actually able to get some really nice wedding rings for a very affordable price. I knew that I wanted to go to Michael Hill because I got my engagement ring from Michael Hill, so I just wanted to keep it very consistent. And they also have really good plans for like lifetime warranties for like diamonds and stuff. Loved the service. It was very personal, and I feel like he really cared about us as a couple, and it was very like customer focused rather than sale focused, which I feel like is really important when you're getting married. Hopefully the lighting is still alright. I've just pulled the blind half down so he doesn't watch me filming with a camera. But yeah, it was such a great experience. I got a really nice diamond band that matches my ring for a very affordable price. Phil got a really nice wedding band for an affordable price. It is one of those things that like if you're in the Auckland area or you come up to Auckland to do some shopping for your wedding, I would highly suggest you check out the Michael Hill outlet in the Dressmart Mall in Onehunga. Next up I'm going to talk about our cake. So our cake lady was up here in Auckland. I believe she has retired now and she's not doing her business anymore, so that kind of sucks because I was hoping to get like, when I have like baby showers and stuff, I was hoping to go for her to get a cake made. We went with Paula from Cake Makers. I found Paula through just a simple Google search. Again, a lot of cake ladies didn't have our date available in Hawke's Bay, so we actually had to look up here in Auckland, because if you guys don't know, I live in Auckland. Phil and I both now live in Auckland. Oh my goodness, her cakes are incredible. They taste so good. I went into the consultation with like a design and kind of inspo pictures as well, and she really accommodated to those inspo pictures as well. She did let us know that because it was a cake that was going to travel, we could only do one flavor, so she was very knowledgeable about how cakes work and whatnot as well, which was great. And my friend Cara, you guys have met in my Hens Weekend vlog, she transported the cake back and it was fine. So the lady really helped to like make sure the cake was secure in Cara's car as well. She actually gave us one of her cake toppers as well, because my little one that I bought wasn't standing up properly on the cake, so that was super duper sweet. She didn't charge us anything extra. She was very affordable. She kept within the budget that we wanted to spend on a cake as well, and the flavors were just to die for. Like, we've saved some in our fridge for like our 1 year anniversary. Again, we got a lot of compliments on the cake, and it was something that we valued, and I'm just really gutted that she's not making cakes anymore. I'm a massive like desserts person as well, and she'd been in the business for like years, so she had so much experience, and I was able to see like cakes that she's done for other people as well for events, and they all look incredible. So next up I'm going to talk about our signage. So my friend Hannah designed up all of our signage for our wedding. So Bill and I designed it on paper, and then Hannah put it together in Canva, I think she uses. She just sent it to us through email and we just printed it out. Again, Hannah was fantastic. The signage all looked fabulous. We got a lot of compliments on the signage as well, and especially our invites, because it was kind of like the same design for our invites, and I was super duper happy with it. She kind of captured my inspo pictures as well, which was really great. It was just done very well. She was very onto it with her time management as well. So Hannah, I know you watch these videos, so I genuinely thank you so much for doing our signage, because A, you've saved us a lot of money, and B, you were just really onto it and it looked really good. So I really appreciate you. So next I'll kind of talk about like the fun stuff. So I got my dress from Eskdale Bridal in Auckland. I filmed the entire process and the girls there did such a great job. I can't remember the name of the girl that I had. I think it was Elise. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but she was so knowledgeable and it was such a fun experience. She really kind of catered for my budget and my inspo pictures as well, and then she also helped me to try things that were outside of my comfort zone, as well as things that like I genuinely really liked, and it was just a great experience. I ended up getting a free veil from them as well, and the girls were just so lovely and so knowledgeable, and they really make you feel comfortable. Yeah, are just very kind and caring there. So highly recommend getting your dress from Eskdale Bridal if you can. The fabrics are really good, they have really nice designs, and yeah, it was just a great experience. So I'm going to talk about the suits. So the boys got their suits from Helen Stein's in Napier. Now it was Hayley that helped us with all the suits and stuff. I believe she does still work at Helen Stein's, so if you are in the Hawke's Bay area, go into Helen Stein's in Napier and ask for Hayley, because she knows her stuff. She is so onto it, and she just made the process really easy. She gave us like options and the different colors that we wanted as well, and kind of told us what was new, and she really knew a lot about the fabrics and how they would fit and how they would wear and how they would feel. I knew that I wanted to get my dress from Eskdale Bridal as well, because I know a lot of people have got them from Eskdale Bridal, and I knew that I wanted to get the suits from Helen Stein's as well, because they're quite affordable but they still look really good. And then people that we know as well have got their suits from Helen Stein's. So next up I'll talk about the bridesmaids dresses. So I got them from JJ's house, and JJ's house was great. I wanted a dress in 3 different colors, but I wanted the same style of dress, and that was almost impossible to try and find in any normal store here in New Zealand. So I had to go and order online. I was a little bit hesitant about ordering online, but I got advice from the wedding discussion group on Facebook, and a lot of people in that group have used JJ's house for their dresses. So I just custom sized it and put a little bit of extra length on the end for the girls, and it was great. They fit them perfectly. The quality was actually really nice. The colors were really good. It did take like a month to ship, so that is something to keep in mind. Definitely if you are ordering your dresses online, to get in early. But yeah, they just have a lot of different colors as well, which is kind of why I went with their dresses. Next up I'm going to talk about the shoes. So I'll start off with the boys' shoes. So they got their shoes from Merchant, and I knew that I wanted the boys to get their shoes from Merchant because they're just really good quality and they just look really smart. The boys were comfortable all night in their shoes as well. My bridesmaids just got their shoes from No. 1 Shoe Warehouse. I knew the kind of style and the color that I wanted, and No. 1 Shoes had what I wanted, so it was nice and easy. Now, I got 2 pairs of shoes. So I bought my heels off of Facebook Marketplace. I had like a certain idea in my head of what I wanted my shoes to look like, and I just found them on Facebook. So it was really great. The seller was really nice as well, with messaging me on how to like do them up, because it was a little bit confusing to start off with, and they fit me perfectly and it was a great experience. And then my other shoes were like a flatter pair, and I got them from Merchant, again for the same reason that the guys did, and that they're good quality and they just lasted all night. They did kind of slip off the back a little bit at times because they are a sling back style, so I probably should have had a couple more holes punched in it. The actual shoes were really nice, and then I was wearing them after the wedding as well, just with like jeans and like a jumper, so it was good. So next up I'm going to talk about my jewelry and my bridesmaids jewelry. So we got our jewelry from Ayla and Oak, and then I got like a little pearl pack of earrings from Lavisa. Lavisa is just kind of like a cheap costume jewelry store throughout New Zealand, so I get quite a lot of jewelry from them. So like I just saw the pearl pack, and because I have like a lot of piercings, I was like, oh yeah, that'll probably do. And then with Ayla and Oak, I found them through actually Rachel Catherine's wedding series, because she used them, and then I know Shannon used them for her bridesmaids, and I know a lot of people use Ayla and Oak for their bridesmaids and their bridal jewelry, and it's just really good quality. It's like a little small business as as well, which I love supporting. And yeah, the girls that run it are super duper lovely. They always chuck in little freebies as well in your orders. It came really quick, the order was right, it was good quality. And then last but not least, we have the decor and furniture hire. So the furniture we hired from Mardi Gras in Hastings. Again, this was a super duper easy process. We kind of didn't really know what sizes of things to get, so I think it was Tim that works there, I can't actually quite remember, but he kind of knew. Obviously they have like a lot of events and stuff that people hire furniture for from them, so yeah, he made it super duper easy. And yeah, we organized ourselves to pick it up and drop it off, otherwise it would have cost us more, but everything was really stable, really good quality. Our easels we got from A Touch of Elegance. So when I used to work at a winery, they used to get all of their decor from A Touch of Elegance, and Cameron knows them because he works in like sound and lighting as well, so he does like a lot of events, and so he had connections with them, so we were just able to go and pick them up to borrow, and it was great. They really tied in with our theme and looked really good. And then all of the decor we pretty much either thrifted, got from Kmart, or bought on Facebook Marketplace, so it was all really affordable and nice and easy, and it also looked really really good. And then we got a lot of compliments on how everything looked as well, and I feel like it all really tied together really nicely. So there we go guys, those are all of the wedding vendors that we used. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Again, I will leave links to the vendors that I can down below if you want to get any more further information. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed listening to who we used and who helped make our wedding possible. I honestly would highly recommend all these vendors. There wasn't one vendor that I was disappointed that we had, and I honestly feel like we had the dream team with vendors. It was just such a great experience, and they just made our wedding so good. And a lot of the vendors, because Hawke's Bay is quite small, a lot of them had worked together as well. I didn't mention, but Phil's auntie was in Tauranga, so she like just brought all of the flowers to Hawke's Bay. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please make sure to turn on the notifications and check out my social media. It's always linked down below. I will let you guys know what my next wedding video is as well. We are definitely like coming towards the end of the series now. The next video I'm going to be filming is everything I thrifted for our wedding, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, I shall see you guys in my next video. Bye.